Hey, this is Owen, and today we're back to work on the 22 WRX. Last video, you saw we were putting the coilovers on the car. In the last month or so, we've been driving it around, dialing in the fitment with the coilovers, but we've really started to notice it handles better now, and it stops better with the big brakes we did, but it's slow. We're kind of out-braking the engine, as it were. So what we're gonna be doing today is adding a little bit of power. We picked up a JB4 tuning module from Berger Motorsports. They were nice enough to send one over, so we're gonna be throwing it in here and actually heading over to JM Automotive here locally and hopping on their dyno and comparing the stock car as it is now, and then we're gonna try out a couple maps that come preloaded on here and just kind of see what kind of gains can be made on, we're just gonna stick with pump gas, so 91 or 93 octane. First steps, I'm not gonna get this fully installed yet because once it's all plugged in, it's gonna take over everything, basically remap the ECU. So I'm just gonna get it wired in loosely so we can still have the stock map for getting on the dyno. We'll go do a few pulls and then we'll get it hooked up and try out the different maps. Now, I'm sure most of you have heard of the Cobb access port for the other models, like the WRXs and STIs from yesteryear in the last generations. There isn't quite any tuning support from Cobb yet for the 22 platform, but in the meantime, Berger Tuning has this, which is a little bit different. It doesn't actually tune the ECU like the Cobb does. However, it's more of a piggyback. So there will be jumper harnesses that connect to the MAP sensor in the airbox, and then also the electronic wastegate down by the turbo. And those will just kind of intercept those signals and kind of trick the ECU. But then this also it does hook up to the OBD2 port under the dash, and that allows us to monitor everything through our phone. So you can have live gauges, you can do data logging, you can clear codes, view codes, everything like that, and see what's going on with your car, which is really nice. They do also offer an ethanol content sensor. So if we wanted to do like an E30 blend or something like that, if we need more power above what this gets us just on pump gas. All right, so getting into the box here, if we pop it open, you'll see we have some documentation, also some cool Berger Motorsport stickers. Set those aside. Then in here, it looks like we have our OBD2 connection harness. So this is what's gonna allow us to kind of run through the firewall and read codes from the ECU and also allow us to get that live data to our phone on everything going on with the engine and within the ECU. Then below that, we have the actual JB4 unit itself. So this looks like it's a nice piece of billet aluminum, and the actual board for the JB4 is inside of there. Over here we have our Bluetooth module, so this is going to sit on top of the engine bay and allow us to communicate through our phone to the JB4 for switching maps and also viewing diagnostics and stuff like that, like I mentioned. And then over here we have the actual harness. So this is going to run all over the engine bay and kind of connect to the various things that I mentioned before, the electronic wastegate, the map sensor, the MAP sensor. It's just kind of through these fun pigtails, so it's going to be, these are actually the same, just male and female connectors. And so they're just gonna piggyback off of, we unplug, say the wastegate, plug this in, and then plug this into the harness. So basically what I'm gonna be doing here is I'm gonna take the JB4 and just kind of loosely install it, run all the wires and everything through the engine bay, but not hook it up yet, so we can still have the stock tune for getting over the dyno and also doing the first few pulls just to get a baseline, see what the car is making stock. So I'm gonna start off here by lifting up the car and actually just taking off the plastic skid tray underneath. That way I'll be able to get to the wastegate underneath there, and it'll be easier on the dyno when we're disconnecting those cables. It's been dry around here recently, so I'm not too worried about debris and dust and road crap getting up in there. So now that I've got that plastic skid tray or under tray off from the car here, we can actually see the electronic wastegate actuator here and the connector for it. So I'm just gonna leave the wiring probably zip tied somewhere under here, just so we can get at it easily while we're on the dyno later. Alrighty, so with the help of Cory, I got everything run here. We kind of both tackled it because we got to get going here in about 15 minutes. So we have the actual JB4 just mounted right here. In the instructions they include, there's various places you can mount it, really anywhere over here, as long as it's away from moving parts and away from heat, you're good to go. So right here on the side of the battery, we just have it stuck onto the side of the box with some double-sided tape. Works pretty well. And then we have the JB4 Bluetooth module. It's kind of hard to see, but it's right here on the side of the fuse box. That way, we would have put it on top so you get better connection inside, but if we ever have to take the fuse cap off, it gets to be a pain. Other than that, there's a grommet right back behind the brake master cylinder there, or the brake booster. And we have the OBD2 wire running through there, plugging into the bottom of this. All right, so we've got our JB4 all set up in the car here, just kind of loosely in place, but it'll be easy to plug everything in once we're on the dyno. As you can see, Cory's in the back, just kind of wiping down the car, getting everything tightened up. We're gonna be heading off to JM here in about 15 minutes. So we'll see you there.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Well, the car's heading off the dyno here. Unfortunately, wasn't quite the result we were looking for, but there were some gains, right?
There were some gains, about 10, 13 horsepower.
10, yeah.
We are suspecting we're limited due to fuel. We have 91 non-oxy in there.
We believe.
We think, yeah. So we're hoping to come back with some 93, maybe some E85, maybe do a little E60 blend. I think there's one of those maps on there.
E60, E30, something like that. Yeah, blend it up, see if we can make a little more power.
Yep.
Thousands of tears later.
All right, so we're back from the dyno now. Actually, it's been 2 or 3 weeks since we were at the dyno last, but just kind of looking at everything here, I was going over the data logs. And the JB4 app's really cool because it allows you to data log here, and then you can view your logs right here just as a graph. It's a little jumbled on mobile, it's everything's so small and packed in there, but you can export it, and I've got it pulled up on my computer here. So you can see here one of our runs, you got the RPM going up here. You can see the timing, it's pulling out of it as it normally would, or the timing that it's adding, sorry. But then right here it started picking up a little knock and pulled out timing there. So that's kind of where we lost our power, and it kind of fell off up top. When I'm at the dyno, we'll go over it with Devin. I'll have him pull up the logs from the last time. You'll be able to see on the curve where it just kind of flatlines and then falls right off. And it lines up right with when that happens. So we're hoping now that we got some better gas in there, drain that tank of non-oxy 91, got some 93 in there, should be good to go. Good to make power. We're gonna test out a couple different maps that come with the JB4. We're hoping to see some good improvements. We're gonna get heading over to the dyno here in just a couple minutes, so we'll see you there. All right, well, this is a little bit of a familiar sight, isn't it, Cory?
Not the first time we've been here with this car, no.
No, what? Hopefully gonna have some better results today, or at least we almost certainly should. There's bigger problems going on if we don't make gains, so. Oh yeah, no, that's gonna be.
That was our issue last time, probably.
That's parasitic loss right there. Yeah, we're gonna get this thing strapped down and make a couple hits and see what we do. All right, so we got the WRX all ready to go here, tied down on the dyno. I just kind of wanted to go over the numbers quick of what we experienced last time. So this red is stock. That was before we turned on any of the other maps or anything like that. And then the blue is the 91 map. Obviously you can see this little dip here and it's kind of flat and then falls off. That's where we were kind of picking up knock. It was pulling a little timing to be safe. So we're hoping that we can keep this line going up today, right?
Yeah, that's the goal.
Cool. All righty, well, let's do it here. All right, so we've got it back on the same 91 map that we were running last time. We're gonna see if we can get it turned up just a little bit more here. Devin's gonna get going here just a minute. Gonna guess that was here. So it sounds like we got a little bit of a boost leak going on. So that run, we immediately heard it hissing. Sounds like we got a little boost leak, probably just in the coupler there.
Yeah,
just wasn't connected at all. All right.
Now all that's left to do is to throw that top mount back on. Fortunately, Subaru has made it really easy.
It's art. He had the top mount off flat. was.
That's what it was.
What the heck?
So you can see here, we already picked up a 242. The max we made last time, I think it was like 230 something. So it's already another 10 horsepower from when we were up here last.
Yeah. Really good. It held the power all the way up. So.
Yep, you can see the line keeps going past where we fell off last time. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Get a couple more volts and see what it levels out at.
Yeah, and then we'll go to that 93 map.
Yeah.
Cool. So we're taking a look at the last few runs here. We had that 242 run, but then we had a couple other runs. It was like 236 and 238. And it's a little wavy up top, we think. Devin's saying the older FAs used to look like that, again, when they were picking up a little bit of knock. Could maybe be heat as well. We're actually just pulling the logs right now. We're going to take a look because the JB4 app does not let us monitor the knock sensor, which is a little bit strange. But we'll take a look at them and get back to you here. But 242, that's still pretty strong just for nothing else changed. Even the stock gas, they recommend you run 91. So I'm going to be curious what 93 is going to do.
Should we take some bets?
Should we? Yeah. Take some bets here?
Okay.
What was our stock number? It was like 221, 225, something like that. So up to 242, that's 20 horsepower gain.
I'm gonna say 254.
254.
Conservative.
Okay. Conservative?
Yeah.
I'm going to be a little more optimistic. I'm going to say 263.
I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out. Devin, you got any ideas? Once we swap to that 93 map?
We're at 242. I don't know. Maybe closer to 250.
250?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll see. We'll pull these logs, see what was happening, and then maybe that'll change our answers a little bit too. There's the big power we were looking for.
Big power.
Yeah.
It put up a lot. Yeah, we can check out the logs too and see what it's looking like, but it looks like it's pulling some timing too again on these ones.
Okay.
It just looks a little bit leaner than what I would feel like on a Subaru. Typically like to be a little bit richer than that, but
Yeah, can you pull up that stock graphic in here?
yeah. So the purple line's the stock, full stock on this car.
So this purple line here, that's the stock power, which obviously we can see we're quite a bit above that now. But then these descending lines here, that's the AFRs. So the wideband, that's your dyno wideband in the back?
That's the dyno wideband.
So you can see it's nice and low down here, right around 11 and a half on the stock tune, versus it's a lot more leaned out. It's like 12 and a half, almost 13 on the burger tunes. So a little lean.
I would say that's lean on my end, yeah.
Okay.
They definitely like to be in the 11s like that. I don't have a ton of experience with the 2.4s, but
Yeah.
I wonder how much more you could get out of it if it. You're avoiding that knock, getting a little richer and.
well, I mean, it's following the curve pretty good and everything. We're only really running into the issues up here. I don't know if you could pick up much more, but it's really just the top end where it's occasionally getting that different parts and knock on it.
Yeah.
245. That's
245 is still good. That's still another 20,
25-ish.
25 horsepower over stock. So I don't know. That's something to be happy about.
Plug and play, pretty easy install. Not much. I mean, you were just doing everything from your phone.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the ease of everything. It's what, $450 for this kit, $400, something like that, and put that on for another 25 horsepower. I would say that's
not bad for that amount of money.
Yeah.
and you get more. I mean, the butt dyno, it definitely feels more responsive. So in addition to the numbers that we're seeing, obviously, it just feels like it drives better than stock. So you get that too, certainly.
Yeah, definitely. I think on the road, you definitely feel this, especially in the mid-range and down low too. Well, leaving the dyno again, I would say it was a lot more successful this trip.
Yes, certainly. Having the right gas tends to help.
Crazy how that works. Yeah, so kind of what we were talking about, 245 on 93 versus, was it 242 we made on 91?
Yep.
Versus 225 on the stock tune, which is even on 91, so same gas, same everything, just basically raising the boost and compensating with fuel. That's essentially what the JB4 is doing, and it's I would say well worth the money.
Doing a pretty good job, yeah. Yeah, I was maybe a little ambitious with my 250. You were.
I was way off.
We're not going to talk about that.
We're not going to talk about it.
Hopes and dreams there, but it definitely is worth. I would say it's worth it. It's piggyback, so you can throw it on and off. It's got cool mobile features, mobile gauges. Definitely, obviously, the car feels way better, and the numbers show that it definitely has more power as well. So, I would say, all in all, it's a great decision.
Absolutely. No, I would 100% recommend if you have a 2022 and you just want to turn the power up a little bit. You don't want to wait for Access Sport because that could be months, if not years, before that's available. Yeah, I would say in the interim, definitely pick one up.
Yeah, especially on a warranty car.
On a warranty car, because you can
Pull it
unplug
right
it doesn't leave any trace, you can bring it back to the dealership and they will never know.
Yep.
So I think we're going to wrap up the episode here. I had a couple dyno sessions, one unsuccessful, one far more successful. Really, I would highly recommend the JB4. That's how I'm wrapping this episode out. It's good impression, good power.
And I can only imagine they're going to be adding things to it too. So
I think so too.
Hopefully we can look forward to that, and definitely keep you guys updated with the 22, any new things that come out, software, whatever it may be. Definitely keep watching these videos. If you like them, please let us know, because that gives us the motivation and reassurance that we're doing a great job.
Yeah, shoot a comment down below. Let us know what you'd like to see next. We're pretty open to doing anything here. We're thinking maybe a few more aesthetic things.
Yep.
But yeah, let us know if you have any other suggestions. Other than that, like, share, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. Other than that, we'll see you in the next one.